Hello, welcome. It is time for Atomic Radio Hour, episode 136. I am your host, Vince, and I'm also here with...
your cold and cozy host, Olive.
Hey,
my blanket today.
Hey, pal, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit chilly,
Yeah?
so I've got a blanket on tonight as we're recording. Yeah, it's just a cold upstate New York night.
Yeah, I heard you guys got blasted with snow.
Yeah, it's pretty yucky outside. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
After this, I'm gonna make me some herbal tea.
Yo, I could go for a hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate would be kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I really, need a hot chocolate in me sometime soon.
That'd be great. Like hot chocolate with a little bit, a drip drop of vanilla and with some warm milk.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, milk alt, but yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta.
that'd be really nice.
I haven't had a hot chocolate in a fucking minute, dude. It's gonna be 7 here on Sunday.
Of 7 the degree.
Yeah. 7 degree, and the low is gonna be a -5. So that means at 3 in the morning it's gonna be -5, and then around 1-2 o'clock when it's the warmest, it's gonna be 7. So
That's pretty chilly. You might need to get a blanket.
I might need to get 2 blankets.
Maybe a little space heater, a little space warmer.
I have not turned my heat on in this place yet, and I kind of never want to.
Is it always the ideal temperature?
For me, yeah. For me, it's 30.
Or does
and I got my
cooking just make the place just warm enough to be nice?
Say that again?
Does cooking just make the place just warm enough to be what you want?
Kind of. My room is always warm because I have my computer, my PlayStation, and I just take up space, and I'm always radiating heat. But it was 30, 40 something degrees the other day, and I had my windows open in my room.
Wow.
Because
I mean, that's honestly when it's around 40 or 50 here, I open my windows too. I usually like it a little bit chilly, but now it's too chilly.
Yeah, but here in Colorado, there seems to be no fucking clouds ever. And it's just the sun beating down on where I live. So it's just oh, everything's going to be warm. So I'm all right, I'm going to open
It's
the
warm
windows.
cold.
Yeah, it's weird. You go in the shade and you're frozen, but you fucking go out in the sun. You're all right, I can take the sweatshirt off. It's wild. It's wacky.
It's inflatable arm flailing too, man.
Well, what's new? What have you been up to? What are you doing?
Not too much. Yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, mazel. Happy belated.
Yeah, and by the time you're listening to this, it'll be long past. But I had a really great day yesterday. I basically just drank tea and read manga for most of the day. So I was relaxed, and it was super duper nice. It was super fun.
Cool. I feel like we should chill a little bit for a minute. Come follow us on Twitch, please.
Chillin'. We stream all the time now.
Yeah.
Now we don't just say we're going to stream, we actually do it.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm itching to do it again. I really just want to fucking stream again. Join us. It's a ton of fun. Right now I'm in the Madre. Of the Sierra variety. By the time this comes out, I'll most likely have just left or am beginning to leave the Madre. But
and I'm about to go into my favorite zone on Okami, or one of my favorite zones. So, keep your eyes and ears and all of your skin peeled.
Tight. There's a thing that I want to do. Since I live within the vicinity of a Costco, Costco does this thing that's super dangerous for me called you can order a cake that's $20 and they'll put whatever the fuck you want on the cake.
Okay, so you could just say, I want to order this cake that says fuck 12, do cocaine and blow and hookers, and they'll make that.
Hopefully, there's probably some limitation. I kind of.
I realized I said do cocaine and blow.
Yeah, dude, it's different. It's different. Trust me. If you were around in the '80s, you'd know.
You know.
I kind of want to get like a fake cake that says like "Congrats on the abortion," and like bring it home. And when my roommate looks at me and is like, "What the fuck is this?" I'll be like, "It's a cake. Eat." Like,
Yeah. Congratulations, Chris.
yeah. So what I want to do is, we're super close to getting 50 followers on Twitch. Once I hit 50 followers, I want to get a cake. And
Twitch cake?
Twitch cake, and I want to eat cake on Twitch and thank everybody and show off the big anus cake. I mean, I don't know how big it is, but still. Please
All I can
join
imagine
us.
is that it's like a 4-hour stream and you're just sitting and eating every piece of cake
I'm not gonna do that.
and not saying a goddamn word.
That's. Did you ever watch The Needle Drop? Anthony Fantano's The Needle Drop.
No, I haven't.
He reviews music, and I love his videos. I've loved his videos for what feels like a decade now. And he reviewed I think it's a Limp Bizkit album where he just
We're already on
ate,
thin fucking ice.
where he just ate in front of the camera for like 6 minutes. And
That's
like,
very Limp Bizkit of him.
do you think so?
I think so. I think it's on brand for what Limp Bizkit's going for.
Well, like later on, I was reading the comments after because I remember watching like all 6 minutes, and then he just ends it. He goes forever, and then like the video's over. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I was reading the comments or watching something, and they were saying how it was to get the taste of shit music out of his mouth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he ate on camera. Like he has one
That's something.
that's really fucking funny where he just goes, "My hands are bread. My hands are bread. My hands are bread. My hands are bread." And like I remember being in school and just referencing that for no fucking reason, but because we all watched it. Yeah.
My hands are bread.
My hands are bread. My hands are bread. So before we get into this lore, we need to thank some people. We need to thank our Patreon.
We do need to thank some people. So we have some people to thank.
Yes.
First and foremost, we have the OG Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Next up, we have Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Next, we have the ever so generous Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Bones Jones.
Thank you, Bones Jones. I think that's
Thank you
everybody?
so much, everyone, for supporting us on Patreon. We know that times are tough, and your support really means everything. It's because of you that we can make this show happen.
Thank you. Do you want to get into this lore?
I would love to.
Okay, so check this out. The wiki's a mess, which is not like an uncommon statement that I've said here before, that the wiki just, you know.
It does its own thing.
Yeah, so here's the thing. For lore, we're doing every single DLC antagonist. We did all the protagonists, then we did all the antagonists. Now I want to do the DLC antagonists. This one's weird because this one's a DLC that feels like an idea that they wanted to put in the game, but like then backed out, but then was like, fuck it, let's
Like
do
a
it
more
as DLC.
broader thing, yeah.
So I kind of felt like I had to pull from various different sources to get an entire lore's worth of segment, if you will. So the lore that we did before this was on Father Elijah, and then the one before that was on the president or the emperor or the chairman or what have you of communist China during the time of the Great War, because we did Operation Anchorage. Now, we've hit Fallout 4, and we are at the fucking the Mechanist.
The Mechanist!
And I forget
the Mechanist.
I like the Mechanist too. I like the Fallout 3 Mechanist a lot. I like the fucking Silver Shroud Mechanist a lot.
I do too.
But this is very much it's just, I forgot this was a DLC. And I actually had a conversation with my roommate Chris
I
today.
really like the robot building mechanics in the DLC. So that is like one of the reasons why I remember it. But other than that, like in terms of the story mode of the Mechanist Automatron DLC, I don't really remember it.
Yeah. When I was talking about the DLC with my roommate Chris today. We were saying about how when the DLC were coming out, they were like, "Hey, it's $30 or $25. I forget how. I think it was 30 for the season pass. It is the first and only season pass for a game I've ever bought. Was for Fallout 4, and how I didn't think the season pass was all that bad because I knew we were going to be getting DLC. And then when they upped it from $30 to $50, they were like, "Hey, we're about to up the price on this, so if you want in on it, get in on it now." And I didn't feel so bad about that because they were like, get it now before you can't get it at this price. Mm-hmm. But
they like gave you time.
Yeah, they like said to everybody like, hey, it's not just going to change, it's going to happen, do it then. But now you can buy the Game of the Year version for fucking $30. You know what I mean? But The Mechanist. And I don't even remember the story all that much. But let's just I feel like I'm getting away from this. Let's jump into this. In Fallout 3, the Mechanist is a man named Scott Bean Wallinski. Wollinski. Wallinski. Mm-hmm. He's 40 years old, lives in Canterbury Commons, and controls various different robots. The man himself, Scott Bean Wallinski, born to simple bean farmers. Bean farmers. His father raised him to the age of 15 and then sold him to a caravanning merchant, hoping he would have a better life, making him into an indentured servant. His father... My father... Fuck the Dark Knight, dude. His father sells him into slavery.
That's pretty not poggers, if you ask me.
Dude, how fucking wild is that? His dad's like, go on, boy, have yourself a better life.
That's pretty not poggers.
And he got the nickname Bean because he was paid for with beans. Now, this makes me ask the question, did his father receive beans as a payment?
I would assume that he received caps or a cash or like a store credit.
On beans?
On the man beans.
No.
Man bean.
But here's the thing. If I'm reading this correctly, his nickname Bean because he was paid for with beans. The man's papa was a bean farmer, right? You following me?
Farmer named Bean.
No. His dad was a bean farmer. Beans. He sold his son into slavery for beans. It's like selling... Well, I don't think you can say this word anymore, but it's like selling ice to...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know what the replacement... Everything's changing, and it's hard to keep up. But, ice people? What's the proper term for that?
Iceman at law?
No, seriously, what's the proper term for...
I didn't think that was derogatory.
I feel like someone told me recently that was derogatory. I knew a girl in high school who he called...
Yeah. I mean, they... It's actually... yeah, it is a not preferred thing.
Really?
Because it's a slur used against the Inuit people.
Inuit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like selling ice to an Inuit. Mm-hmm. You're gonna sell this man beans that he grows. He grows beans.
He was molded by the beans.
Like, how are you gonna fucking... I don't like... Whatever. Okay. All right. He bought his freedom later on in life and settled into Canterbury Commons, living in an electronics store, and took up the mantle of the Mechanist when the Antagonizer showed up in town. That's about everything on our boy Scott here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You following me?
Yes.
Okay. So here are some notes. You ready for these notes?
Give me some notes.
It is possible to get both sets of armor and the Protectron's gaze by reverse pickpocketing. First, convince the
Isn't that an
antagonizer.
energy weapon, the Protectron's gaze?
I'm pretty sure. Let's take a gander. Yes, it's a laser pistol. Reverse pickpocketing. First, convince the antagonizer to give up using the Lady Killer perk or a speech check. Then go to the Mechanist, but drop the antagonizer's costume and helmet before talking to him. He will say his spy bots tell him the antagonizer is defeated, but he needs the armor. Pick up only the costume of the antagonizer. He doesn't require the helmet and will actually duplicate one in his inventory. Using a stealth boy if needed, sneak and give him both combat helmet and armor, leave the building, and then go back in. While still stealth, the Mechanist... tell the Mechanist he can have the costume, but to move on and leave Canterbury Commons alone. As he walks away, sneak up on him, take both sets of armor from his inventory, including the extra helmet. Note, one will receive the usual penalty to karma for pickpocketing. So if you needed to have both there.
Like, you can.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you can just murder them both and rip it off their cold, dead bodies.
Yeah, but I don't think you get the
warm
weapons.
Dead bodies, if that's what you're into.
Also, the antagonist is like one of the only psychers in the later games because she can control the ants.
Yeah.
But that's for a different day. The Mechanist is not allied with his robots in his robot repair center and will fight them and most likely be killed by them if he ever crosses paths with one. I kind of wish there was like a plot line that you could kind of unearth that makes them fall in love with each other.
That enemies to lovers, yes.
Wouldn't that be so fucking like comic booky?
That would be so amazing.
Female characters of the Black Widow perk can choose an additional dialogue option to acquire the Mechanist costume peacefully. Male characters can use the Child at Heart perk to convince the Mechanist to give up his position as a superhero. Wearing the antagonizer costume will cause the Mechanist to become hostile upon talking to him. Wearing the Mechanist costume while speaking to Moira Brown about the section of the Wasteland Survival Guy on the Robco facility gives a few humorous dialogue options. Didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, I didn't know about that. The Mechanist has a harder speech check than the antagonizer to vacate his position peacefully.
This guy only shows up, Big Scott, only shows up in Fallout 3. That's it. Never again.
That's it.
This is just such a fucking wacky ass thing to be the bad guy of a series. Now, I want to read this directly from the wiki. This is just the Mechanist. Do it. Do it.
From Fallout 4.
Do it. Do it.
The Mechanist.
All right, so the Mechanist is... this is directly from Fallout 4. The Mechanist is brought up about in the Silver Shroud radio serials. In the Silver Shroud radio series, the Mechanist... Actually, Mayor Murphy of Boston believed that humanity was weak and should be replaced by his own robot army. Included in this army was mobster Fat F-A-H-Y. How would you say that? F-A-H-Y. Fat Faye?
Fat Faye.
Fat Faye. And a group of mob bots. That's like fucking Futurama, dude. Give him the clamps!
Mob bots.
Give him the clamps! Dude, I remember I had a friend who was super into Futurama. We used to always do it to each other. Give him the clamps! Wishing to take it down the crime fighter, the Silver Shroud, Mayor Murphy created a robot version of himself and set the robot to meet with Fat Faye and die in order to lure the Silver Shroud and the Mistress of Mystery. When the two investigated the mayor's death, they discovered that he and his accomplices were robots serving the Mechanist. When they arrived at the Mechanist's lair within the warehouse, he successfully captured both of them and prepared to kill them. However, the two crime fighters were freed by one of the Mechanist's own creation, a mob bot angry at him, and did battle with the Mechanist robot army. After all of his robots were destroyed, the Mechanists attempt to kill the Silver Shroud with the Shroud's own submachine gun. However, the Silver Shroud had made it so the weapon was incapable of hurting him, resulting in the bullets bouncing off of him and hitting the Mechanist, fatally wounding him. As he died, the Silver Shroud unmasked him, revealing the true identity as Mayor Murphy.
Mayor Murphy.
And his entire ruse. So, the Silver Shroud has a gun that can't kill the Silver Shroud.
That's pretty good. I think that's a good feature to have on your own gun.
Like,
Like,
is it the bullets that are magic? Is it the gun that is magic? Is it the Silver Shroud's clothing that is magic? Like, what about that makes it in... Like, what about that makes it so he can't be hurt?
I don't know.
And now for the automaton version of the Mechanist. The Mechanist, real name Isabella Cruz, an always talented youngster when it came to robotics. Isabella Cruz... Okay, so the way this was written was, Isabella Cruz came from a settlement plagued with super mutants and raiders. Does that mean that the super mutants and the raiders were the people that inhabited the settlement, or that the settlement got fucked up by super mutants and raiders?
No, it got fucked up by both of them.
Okay, that's what I thought, but the way I read it was like they lived there.
No.
Did you know in Van Buren, I was saying this on stream the other day, follow us on Twitch, link in the description. In Van Buren, one of the original ideas for the Hoover Dam was a settlement of Masters mutants had gone east and settled there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, not fan art, concept art that I found a long-ass time ago. I don't even remember where, about Hoover Dam, and, like, it was like pueblos. Like, you know how, like, those Spanish houses that, like, build on top of each other? Like, on the mountains? Yes,
but definitely not Spanish, but those were indigenous housing.
Mexican houses of indigenous people that are built on top. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're built into the mountain. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it looked like in Hoover Dam. Super fucking
like
neat.
Into the dam?
Like on the dam, on the side. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I've seen it. Like on top of it. Like they built into it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Alright, so the Mechanist, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it plagued with raiders. She was always inspired by the Mechanist in the comics. Discovered a pre-war factory originally used by the military and private sector. She used this factory to make allied robots to aid the Commonwealth. Now, the idea was originally to help the Commonwealth by killing raiders. But there was a logic loop flaw within the robots that they killed any humans on sight. And she also brought back Robo-Brains.
That's pretty, like, counter to her goal, you know, yeah. Robots that save people, but instead kill them all.
And that's why, like, I think part of this DLC kind of sucked, was that it was like, hey, I'm not a bad person, I'm a good one, but I'm flawed. But, like, it's so short that you don't get to learn about these flaws. I genuinely do not remember anything about this DLC other than Ada, who was your companion. I think the other Robo-Brain that you had to capture's name was like Jezebel.
Yeah.
And then you could make a Sentry Bot. No, a Sentry Bot or Securitron?
Sentry Bot.
I don't remember which one, and it was super big, and it had a mini nuke launcher, and you could put a skull on it instead of like a real robot face. I didn't, like, I played it one time, and I was like, all right, that was $15 or $20 or however much it was. I mean, I had the season, but whatever.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, it is, but I didn't have a high science, and my character I never intended my character to have a high science.
Right.
So, yeah, you could play Fallout 4 and level infinitely, but, like, I don't wanna. I got my character, like, level 90, and I was like, I'm good for the rest of this. The player, this is just some notes. The Mechanist will have unique dialogue if the sole survivor is wearing the Silver Shroud costume during the final confrontation. If the sole survivor decides to let her live, then she will remain in the lair and cannot be moved to any other settlement, as she does not count as a settler and does not require any resources. Aside from the armor, Isabella also shares many other traits with previous Mechanist, Scott Bean Walensky. They have skill with robots and sought out to make the wasteland safer, but actually cause more harm than good. They can be spared and thus realize the outcomes of their actions and seek out to heal what damage they caused. Their hidden bases are in seemingly normal areas.
Mm-hmm.
She becomes a merchant that you can buy and sell shit from, but she only has like 200 caps on her at any time.
Dumb.
Yeah. So they recycled main content from Fallout 3, and then later on they recycled what do you call it? Point Lookout. But whatever, we'll get to that one next time. So that's pretty much the Mechanist.
I liked the Mechanist in Fallout 3 a lot. In Fallout 4, I don't really remember much about the Mechanist, even though we just went over it. It was kind of just a stepping stone in my path of blood.
Actually, let's do this. I found this website. I knew about this website, but I was reminded of this website the other day. Right? It's called howlongtobeat.com. I was watching a streamer, and the guy was like, "Oh, every time I want to stream a game, before I do it, I always do howlongtobeat.com." And I got excited, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot about that website. Let me go back onto it." So I went back onto it, and I started checking it out. They use the same font as us, but the Automatron DLC they say takes 4 hours to beat. And if you wanted to complete it, it would take 5.5 hours to beat. Someone here is putting that the contraption. That makes about sense. The contraptions workshop takes 30 minutes to beat. That makes sense. But yeah, that seems like a little generous. 4 hours, to be completely honest. But that's it. That's the Mechanist.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Mechanist?
I like the Mechanist, but at the end of the day, mostly inconsequential.
Yeah, I think the Fallout 3 Mechanist is a little more fun because it's just like, especially if you just find Canterbury Commons and here's these two fucking morons yelling at each other. And like everybody, if I remember the super mutant gambit or superhuman gambit?
I think it was the superhuman gambit.
What I remember with the superhuman gambit is that like the entire town is just like, they're fucking doing it again. Like, and I remember that being super charming of just like, God, somebody come fucking get their kid. Like,
yeah.
And like the Mechanist being just this woman who's like, I'm kind of here now. Doesn't really seem like it has any volition, any power. Like, it just seems like it exists to exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, it's just kind of there because, oh, hey, this was in Fallout 3, so you must love it in Fallout 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, that's lore. Let me ask you a question. I
will answer your question.
You like television?
Do I like television?
Do you like television?
I suppose that I like television. I actually don't have TV here, but I do watch some shows. Like
the Hulu
and stuff.
Do you watch Hulu?
Yeah, once in a while.
Oh. So the Last of Us show just got announced. I mean, it didn't get announced, but they announced who the main characters are going to be. And
I would really like for you to tell me who these main characters are.
Okay. So Joel is being played by the dude who plays the Mandalorian, Pedro something?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is playing fucking Joel. And if he grows his beard out, I can see him looking like Joel, like a lot. And
Look him up from when he played in Game of Thrones, because he has a beard now.
he was in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No shit. Well, this show's like a fucking mini Game of Thrones reunion because Bella Ramsey is playing Ellie. And I don't know anything about her. I've never seen her before. I think she looks too childish, to be honest. But this is supposed to take place between Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2. And during Last of Us 1, Ellie is 14. I don't know how old Bella Ramsey is. I know nothing about this woman.
Hold on. Let me shoot you a
Do you want to read it to the class?
from... I'm going to shoot you a picture from his Game of Thrones.
What about anything about her?
Who I don't even know who she is.
Bella Ramsey.
Here, I threw it in the lounge. That's what he looks like with a beard. Like a small beard, but...
There will be pictures of both of these people on screen. She played... Kenelon? Kenelon Dagan?
Oh. I know who this is. I would not have casted her for Ellie.
She looks too childish to me. I'm very particular
Yeah.
about Ellie. Like, I
know you are.
like Ellie. I think Ellie's one of the most compelling characters. Here's my little statue of her.
Yo, have you found a jar big enough yet?
I don't know. I want to see what he looks like. You just sent me something, right? Mm-hmm. No. That's a shitty look. Hold on. That picture is going to be on screen. That's a shitty looking beard.
Yeah, it's a small beard.
He should be ashamed of himself for letting someone film him with that. That's atrocious.
I'm sure it was not his choice.
As a bearded gentleman myself, that is fucking gross. Look at that. Look at him. What the fuck? Who made this decision? This is why Game of Thrones ended the way it did. Like, because of this beard decision. So
she looks like too young to be
right?
Ellie.
She looks like she's
How old
but
is this person?
that got me thinking. We're supposed to be getting a Fallout show, right? Mm-hmm. And here's my only problem with the Fallout show. We know so little about it other than it just existing that
We don't even have enough to even talk about it.
Exactly, and I want to talk about it. I have theories about this fucking show. I've been like speculating if I should write like a mock script of a first episode to introduce everybody. But the thing is, like,
Dude, you should do it.
I fucking feel like I should. But the thing is, it's like, did I ever tell you that I was trying to write a porno parody of Fallout, like as a series? Like I wanted to write a porno parody series.
I think you mentioned it.
I wanted to do like something with Caesar and like all of his men. You could put that together.
Yeah.
And like I want to do something with Cass. I wanted to have like two groups of people.
Cass is a big lesbo.
Is she though?
She's definitely bisexual at the very least.
How do you know this?
Because it's in my brain and I said it's true.
I can't fucking stand when I see that on Twitter. Like, here's some like, it'll be like a character from a show that, like it'll be like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. They'll be like, oh, she's a lesbian. I'll be like, she's a fucking robot. Like, she's fictional.
That's part of the fucking joke, dude.
That's,
like,
I mean,
it's meant to just be... That's the joke.
I just think
it's
it's
like there's
so
no way
silly.
to even tell. It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, it's just silly. It's just like they're fictional. They don't exist. But whatever.
There is a lot of trans allegory in My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I know. I probably shouldn't have used that one as a thing because I know that, but I was trying to think of a more obscure show, and I just
Right, yeah.
not that that's super obscure, but when you went to the bathroom quick, I was on my phone and I follow My Life as a Teenage Robot daily because I fucking loved that show as a kid. And
That show was amazing.
That show
I
fucking
remember
slapped,
watching it
dude.
so much as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that show was
I
fucking.
related a lot to Jenny.
It was a. It was a.
I wonder
fucking,
why.
It was a fucking Monster of the Week superhero robot show. I remember sitting inside all day one summer, just waiting, watching Nickelodeon, not even liking what was on Nickelodeon, just waiting to see a commercial for it because the art style and the character fucking intrigued me so much.
Because of Jenny.
Just I'm a slut for a female protagonist.
I know you are.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I just like when I get to play as the girl. I think it's because I'm not one, and to see a different perspective, I think my fucking heroine. But whatever.
That's your bread and butter.
But here's the thing that I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. Besides me trying to write a porno, besides one of the greatest Nicktoons that ever existed that nobody ever gave the time of day to, we don't know anything about the Fallout show.
Nothing.
We know nothing. I think it would serve them right to do it from the perspective of the great cons, or any con for that matter. I think it would be, I think it would be good to do it between the times of 2241 and 2281, so you're right smack dab in the middle of Fallout 2, 3, and New Vegas. Like right in that
would be a
sweet
really
spot.
Good place to put it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you could even show the beginning of the great cons. You could do some other shit. You could do it in Texas and we could see what's going on in Texas. We could see what's been going on in Chicago. Fuck it, put it in New York. But you have to take into account what other things
I'd like to even see something like Far North.
Like, oh dude, we didn't even talk about the Frontier at all.
We didn't even talk about the Frontier at all, but that's a little bit. Those waters have been muddied without our input.
Let's just talk about it quick. I feel like we should talk about it quick.
Yes, would you like to give a little update recap of that situation?
I can't. If you listen to the show before, you know I don't like mods. I just don't.
And you know that I do.
And this is a mod that is the size of a DLC, and I think we know a guy who worked on it. So this mod comes out, and they were like, "Oh, it's lore friendly. Oh, it's lore friendly. Oh, it's lore friendly. It's not lore friendly.
Is it not lore friendly?
Why
Who
the
would
fuck?
have fucking guessed?
Like, why? Like, there's another one called New California. There's a YouTuber I was watching who was doing a playthrough of New California, and it seemed kind of lore friendly. Like, it was okay. You could tell it was just kind of like a passion project. But then they started talking about nu metal and like Bowie and the band Rat. And, like, I think they even talk about the band Franz Ferdinand a little bit. And I was like, that shit would not exist. Like, Bowie would not exist whatsoever in the Fallout universe. They kept talking about classic rock. And I was like, who the fuck is writing this? Like, who's writing?
Yeah.
So, I'm not one for mods, especially when they're lore-breaking mods. But the Frontier has an entire section where the underground is run by lizards. And no
big lizards.
This big lizards in my underground, and this I'm not talking about fucking the U.S. government, but for all I know, these lizards are agnostic. Again, jokes. Jewish lizards do not run the U.S. government. As fucking funny as Jewish lizards running the U.S. government might sound, it doesn't exist.
Jewish lizards run the U.S. government in Minecraft.
Yeah. So that being said, there's also a lot of child in it, or like
what?
Yeah, you didn't know about this?
I heard that there was like the one of the people that worked on it like used to do like brony porn at some point.
Well, one of the people who worked on it uploaded
which like if that's your bread and butter, fine, whatever.
Oh, the brony shit? Yeah. I thought you were defending. I'm gonna refer to it as cheese pizza.
Yeah, I don't defend cheese pizza.
Yeah. So apparently,
you gotta at least have pepperoni on that bitch.
Gross.
I know. I'm sorry.
So I probably censored out the word because I don't know if it'll take the video down.
Right, yeah.
But
because Susan
Susan
really fuck with us,
yeah. Here's a small channel. Get rid of it. Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton of there. He was putting he or she. I shouldn't say he. I'm defaulting to he. They were putting up cheese pizza on their profile or something, and there's a character named America who she's like a young girl or a youngish girl, and you can put a slave collar on her, and she likes it, from what I understand. But then there's a whole thing where like they go to space, which isn't super far out of the realm of possibility with Fallout, because Van Buren's ending, I believe, originally was going to involve you going to a bomb satellite, which makes
that sounds
more
like
sense
a cool concept.
in the sense of it was an Enclave remnant. This is just space cool, vertibird in space, and like there's vehicles in the game, and I just think putting vehicles in a Fallout game is kind of silly, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, they put the Batmobile in the Arkham games, and then I didn't feel the need to explore, because I could just drive everywhere.
Right, yeah.
So, this mod comes out, and just fucking... It gets taken off the Nexus. Like, instantly gets taken off. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's just because of the pizza, but like just in general,
because of the drama too.
Dude, it took like 7 years to come out. They've been writing it for 7 years. Also, they were saying that the Enclave was just a power fantasy, a fascist Nazi power fantasy, and they're pointless and don't belong in the game. And I'm paraphrasing and surmising and whatnot, but there's footage of the developers talking about it, and it was like, did you...
Did you, like, what did you mean by this?
Like, where did you, like, so you're saying that they don't belong in the game, like, the series? Like, you don't think that the Enclave doing what the Enclave did was, like, a commentary on anything? No?
Yeah, you can't read between the lines at all?
So, all of this to be said is that... Don't download fucking mods. Don't like.
No, this doesn't mean don't download mods. It means don't support creepy creators.
Yeah, don't like. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Don't fucking download mods. Download the randomizer mod. I'm watching the shit out of randomizer videos. I want to do a randomizer stream.
I've never played it.
Dude, everything's wacky ass. You could just start the game and Sunny Smiles would be like, here, I'll give you a weapon. And every time, instead of giving you a varmint rifle, she gives you a random weapon. So you can start the game with the fucking anti-material rifle. Or you can start the game with like...
That's some good shit.
Yeah, you can just go to like Prim and go kill all the people in Prim like you have to for the normal quest line. And like 2 of them could be wearing what is it called? The Enclave, the Tesla Enclave armor. And you just have the best armor in the game, like 30 minutes in. Someone I was watching today, they went to go repair Eddie, and Eddie was a sentry bot. And when they went to repair Eddie, he turned into a Night Stalker.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Did you get to keep the Night Stalker?
Yeah, he got it as a pet.
That's kind of cool.
But... all of this is a massive detour to what I really wanted to ask you if you would like to do. Since we know next to nothing about the Fallout show. Mm-hmm. But we do know a certain Twitter handle of someone who might be able to give us the smallest little iota of information. Our friend in DC. The original Papa, Pete Hines.
Papa Pete.
Would you like to tweet Hines?
I could go for a good Hines tweeting.
Cool.
Do you want me to set up that scenario, that situation?
Absolutely.
All right. So I do have this big tweet button. Let me make it big though, so that we can really talk about it.
Look at my tweet right there.
Why do people do this shit at like this? At what point of buying a vehicle do you think, this is really a drivable billboard? Also, iCarly is trending.
Yeah, they're doing a reunion. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
Great to know. All right, so
Petey boy,
as per usual.
Yeah. At the DC Deacon. How are you, friend? No, I think that's too formal. Or too informal. How are you,
Papa?
No. I think...
How are you, Peter?
Peter. I hope this tweet finds you well, Peter.
Alright, wait. I hope this tweet finds you well,
Comma.
Peter. Comma.
You gotta... No. Well, comma, Peter.
Peter.
Peter? Dude, I used to work with this kid, and every once in a while when it was slow, I would look over at him and go, Peter? And he would just look at me and go, I don't get it. I go, that's the fucking point, shithead. Peter? Alright, I hope this tweet finds you well, Peter. My associates and I were looking to inquire about any details pertaining to the Amazon original Fallout televised program. Yeah.
I put that in all caps, just, you know. So, oh man, I really did, I did bad that one.
You're all good.
It doesn't even know what I'm saying. Oh, Jesus, I am illiterate.
Did you go to public school by chance?
I did. But the worst part is, I went there after private school. So I really did a number on me. I hope this tweet finds you well, Peter. My associates and I were looking to inquire about any details pertaining to the Amazon original Fallout program.
Number 15.
Number 15.
Don
Don
Can we? Oh, please. Okay, I was gonna fuck around, but this is what we got to say after the. We believe that Donathan, not Donald, Donathan J. Cheadle. I don't even know if that's his middle initial.
That sounds too close to the former president of the United States for my comfort.
All right, Donathan L. Cheadle.
We believe that Don Cheadle is fit for the role. We should just
is fit for the
Don
role,
Cheadle.
Just the role. You put Don Cheadle. Number 15, Don Cheadle.
I don't know if any of these are Don Cheadle.
Hold on, I follow Don Cheadle on Twitter. You're just gonna fuck it. You're just gonna do it raw, dude. You're not even gonna have me do it. You're just gonna straight look up. I'm just gonna
go. We're going raw. We're going in there.
Don't stop believing Cheadle.
Okay. All right, Don Cheadle. This is the one. We believe that Don Cheadle is fit for a lead role.
Is fit for a lead role?
Is the ideal candidate.
The ideal male.
Male subject. For this program. What say you?
What say you? Fucking. All the best.
All the best.
Two
we only have 10 characters left.
What?
We only have 10 characters left.
All the best.
Hold on. Tweet. We need to fit this in here, so we'll have to figure. We might need to start abbreviating.
Oh fuck. How many spaces do we have?
-1.
Fuck me, really?
We can always put. All right, now we're. I think now we're in. This is
sure. Fuck it, do it.
All right, wait. Dear at DC Deacon, comma, enter. I hope this tweet finds you well, Pete. My associates and I were looking to inquire about any details pertaining to the Amazon original Fallout program. We believe that Don Cheadle is the ideal male subject for this program. What say you? All the best, Tweet Hines.
I love it. Is Tweet Hines the T and the H both capital?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Send it out, homie.
We're gonna send it like this.
Send
what
it
if we get a
raw.
response from either Pete or Don Cheadle or both?
I'm gonna frame it.
You can actually order throw pillows that have tweets on them.
No, you fucking can.
Yes, you can.
There's a tweet that I have on my desktop that I have to put on a throw pillow that says Iggy Azalea is the physical embodiment of mayonnaise or some shit.
Okay. Okay.
I wanted to put on a shirt.
I'm gonna tweet this right now.
Yeah, do it.
Right next to the picture that says pervert cancers, no dogs in house.
Sure.
There it is. Let's like it. We're confident in ourselves.
No, I hate that shit. I hate when people like their own shit.
Me too.
Hold on, I'm gonna go on my personal and retweet and favorite and fucking share and. All right, you want to switch over to the camera because I think we have someone else we have to thank.
Do we have to thank other folks?
Yeah, we have to thank our boy. Our boy Shane.
We do. I'm also gonna retweet this. I thought we were gonna have a more gentle segue.
Nah, dude. We just raw the shit out of that Tweet Hines. I'm gonna raw the shit out of this segue.
All right. In honor of rawing the shit out of Tweet Hines, we're gonna raw the shit out of Feather Duster, our not original, intro music that's made by Shane Ivers. You can get it at www.silvermansounds.com/freemusic/featherduster. Vince, tell us about some social media.
You can find my social media, Olive's social media, and the show's social media in the description below. While you're there, check out the Discord. It's always the time. You'll know about the Tweet Hines well before we do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you want to throw that in the?
I already did.
The Discord.
I beat you to it. Before you even hit send, I hit the send on the Tweet Hines. Buckaroo. Join. We're on Twitch now. We're streaming. I'm trying to buy an MF and cake. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy an MF and cake, and I'm going to get the user of the 50th follow on the name of the cake. How about that? How do you feel about that?
That sounds really good.
Let's see. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're on Twitch. We thanked Patreon before. Thank you again for supporting us in any matter. If you'd like, you can head on over to our Redbubble as well. Get a couple logos on a shirt, on a button, on a sticker, on a bag, on a duvet, something. It supports us.
I would say a throw pillow, maybe with a tweet on it.
With the Tweet Hines. Thank you. I think that's everything. If you're following us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. If you're listening to us on any sort of listening platform, a podcasting catching device, if you could please throw us a review of some sort. I think that's about everything.
That's about everything. Thank you so much for being here, folks. And I'll see you either next week or in your dreams.
Bye.
Bye.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast. A Ghoulman Entertainment production.